Aspen, do you have a second? I have something I really need to talk with you about. Oh, hi, Lily. What are you wanting to talk about at 8 p.m.? Can you let me come stay the night tonight? What? I was kicked out of my boyfriend's house just a second ago. What? Wasn't he the man you were getting ready to marry, though? Yeah, that's the one. You were going on and on about how you'd never let him get away from you, though, because he has all that money. Yet now you've been kicked out of his house? What happened there? To tell you the truth, I got pregnant on accident. You're pregnant? So then what got you kicked out of his place was... That's right. It's not his baby that I'm pregnant with. What the hell do you think you're doing, Lily? I know that in the past you were a bit of a wild card when it came to men, but you're still up to that crap? Hey, come on now. It's too late for us to be talking about all of that. No, it's not, Lily. What you've done is going to affect you for the rest of your life now. All right. Shut up now and let me come over. Having to be pregnant and walking around in the streets at night is tough for me. Well, just get your butt over here. Can I start to tell Mom and Dad about all of this so that we can figure out what we're going to do with you? What? You plan to tell them both about this? Well, of course I do. They both need to know. And we're going to have to hear about who the real father of that child you're carrying is, too. It's all such a pain in the ass, though. You're the one that asked for it all. Well, right now I'm heading over to your place. I should be there soon, so have the door open for me. Jeez, oh Pete's. Just be careful on your way over here. Aspen, you can do this on your way home, but could you buy me some snacks, please? You want me to buy you some snacks? All of the snacks you had in the cupboard here? Well, I went and ate them all already. You went and ate all of that which was in there? Some of the symptoms that I've been getting make me feel really hungry all the time and give me an appetite for sweet and salty things. I get that some women have that when they're pregnant. Last night you were also going through the fridge eating random things in there, right? If you start eating too much, it's not going to be good for your health. Just shut up and bring me more snacks. Not happening. I have heard from a lot of people, including medical professionals, that gaining a lot of weight while pregnant is not a good thing. So could you please think about that a bit more while avoiding all that food? What? You're so stingy. By the way, Lily, how long do you plan on staying at my house? What? I've been asking you over and over again about who the father of that baby is, but you just keep beating around the bush about it and dodging all my questions. Mom and Dad told you already that if you're not going to talk to me about what happened, they want you to get out of my house and go back to their place, right? They told me that they have your old room all cleaned up and ready for you, so you need to go back there before your belly gets too big and it's hard for you to move around. I'm not going back to the countryside. Listen, Lily, this isn't just my house that you're living in right now, but also my husband Roland's house. I already feel bad enough that he has to hear about all the drama you've created in the family now getting pregnant like that. But neither of us want you sitting around in this house when you're the one that caused all of this drama. Then how about you get out of the house? Excuse me? Here's the thing. Actually, the father of this baby inside me will probably be coming around to talk with you about it. There was just a few things that had to be done first, and that's why I never said anything to you about him. Things that had to be done. I'll go into a lot more detail about all of this later with my baby's father. Well, if you're finally going to open up and talk, that's all that really matters. Now, make sure to bring me those snacks home. Not happening. Lily, can we talk for a minute? What is it? I'm at the front of the house right now, but, my key isn't able to turn the lock to open the door. I wonder if the lock is broken or something? Lily, you're inside the house right now, correct? I'm sorry to have to ask you to get up, but could you please come and open the door for me? Nope, I can't open that door. Excuse me? Because we went and had the lock changed for a new one. Which is why your key no longer works on the front door. What are you going on about right now? I'm not going to let you into this house right now. I can't, that's all. Lily? Are you upset with me because I said I wouldn't be stopping to get you any snacks on the way home from work? I actually don't really care about that anymore. I went out and got some snacks of my own. Then what the hell is this about? Why are you not coming to let me into my own house? This house is both Roland's and mine, and we have been living here together ever since we got married. And to be frank, there is no reason you should be kicking me out of my own house right now when all you do is lay around. I see. You just think that I'm laying around here. Lily, if you don't stop acting out like that right now, I am actually going to get pissed off, all right? The one that should stop acting like a total idiot is you, actually. Excuse me? Because the one that actually went and changed the lock to this house was Roland himself. Wait, Roland did this? Today, Roland left work earlier than usual after using some of his PTO to be here. He wanted to be back here before you so that he could prepare to have you kicked out of the house for good. I'm being kicked out of my own house then? We made sure to send all your things that were here to your mom and dad's house for you. And the moving services will charge you once they have everything moved into their house, so please make sure to pay them. What the hell are you saying right now? I literally have no clue what this is all about, Lily. You still aren't catching on to what I've been hinting at? You should have been wondering why I've been here laying around your house all this time instead of going back to mom and dad's place. Right? What? Come on already. You're such a dumbass that I can't get anywhere with you anymore. So I'll just go ahead and tell you what's happened. Tell me what's happened. This baby that I've been pregnant with for a bit now's father is your husband, Roland. What? Hold it right there. Why would you say that Roland is the father? Why the hell would he be the father? You're so shocked, aren't you? This is getting so entertaining for me now. Not a single thing about what you're doing and saying is entertaining for me, though. Since I'm sure that you won't trust what I'm saying about your own husband being the father of my baby right now, allow me to send you a picture to prove things first. What is this? This is Roland and I on the couch after he came and brought me a bouquet to celebrate 1 year of being together with one another. 1 year? So what you're saying is that you've been going out with Roland around the same time he and I got married to one another? That's exactly right. So with all of that in mind now, I'm going to be the one giving birth to the person who will take over Roland's company after he retires, so you don't have to bother with him anymore. What? Roland's company? From today onwards, he and I will be treating this house as our earthly paradise, and there is nothing you can do to stop us. Actually, you just being around the house right now is a bother to me, so could you please get lost now? The divorce papers are out in the mailbox for you, so make sure to grab them before you head back to mom and dad's house. So you guys even went ahead and prepared the divorce papers? Of course we did. There's even a letter in here from Roland for me. He wrote about how he wants you to divorce him, right? As for myself, I would like to make Roland my husband before I end up giving birth to our baby. So could you please make sure to take those papers to the courthouse as soon as possible for me? I see. All right then. I'm going to take the papers there and drop them off right now. What? Seriously? In about 30 minutes or so, Roland will be going back to being a single man again. Hooray! This means that Roland can also be fired now as well, right? What? What exactly do you mean by that? How come you said he could be fired now? Goodbye. Aspen? Aspen! Hey, what's going on here? Okay, what is it? Tell me what the hell Roland being fired from his job is all about. How could the CEO be fired from his own company like that? Huh? You thought that Roland was the CEO of the company? Where did you end up hearing about that from? That company is his father's company, right? And there is no way that he could be fired from his own company when he's the one that runs it all as the CEO now. What are you actually going on about right now? Roland's father was only ever a basic office worker. Huh? So that's why you were saying something about me not having to worry about who would be taking over the company next, right? What? But Roland said that He said that he's the CEO and was made so after his father stepped down and retired. What? Ah, so he still has the wrong idea then. The wrong idea? I explained things to him so many times, over and over again, yet he still didn't understand a thing. What are you talking about, Aspen? This company that Roland has been working for, right? Well, it just so happens to be the company our cousin Robert owns right now. Wait, Robert? Robert's been running a company of his own for a while now? Hold on, you never heard anything about this from anyone? I never heard anything at all before about that. This is my first time hearing about it. I think he actually started the company around 7 years ago or so. Then why would something like that lead to Roland thinking that he would become the CEO of the company soon? I'm not really sure where the best place to start explaining all of this to you would be. Let's start here. Around half a year before Roland and I got married to one another, his company he'd been working at before ended up having some major layoffs. And after that happened to him, he was having a really difficult time finding himself a new job. And so I went and spoke with Robert about giving him a job in his company. So he was really only able to start working for Robert because of the connections I made for him. Well, since that day he first started to work for Robert, a lot has happened with Roland. He got this idea in his head that Robert would be single for the rest of his life and never have anyone to give his company to after he left. And so Roland thinks that he'll be the next one in line, even though that's far from the truth. Huh? I've really been trying to comprehend whatever Roland has been thinking that's led him to that conclusion. Roland does have a little sister, right, but she's not even working in the same field as him. And since Robert doesn't ever want to get married, Roland thinks that he's never going to have kids, which is true to the best of my knowledge. And that leaves you and I as Robert's only cousins, right? In other words, the only ones who could really be in line next to take over his company would be me. And that crazy man who thinks he's going to be the CEO, even though Robert has never even said anything to him yet about it at all. I'm having a hard time understanding all of this. The reason why Roland has been fired from his last job wasn't even due to the layoffs anyway. He was fired because he couldn't do his job correctly. What? There is no way Robert would ever let Roland, a completely useless man, take over his company after him. What the hell? Well, now that you're aware of all that, and now that I've had to divorce Roland over you and him making a baby together and stealing my house from me, there is no reason for Robert to keep him in his company anymore. It's not like he was a full-time worker for the company anyway. He was only working close to 15 hours a week. So he was part-timing? If he had actually taken his work there seriously, then one day he would have been made into a full-time company employee. No way. I thought that he was a way better option than my ex-boyfriend and would have a lot more money for me. Huh? So that's your reason for going and stealing my husband from me? That's right. Had I known the truth, had I been told the truth about Roland, I would have never even bothered with him. That's it. I just have to go and talk with Robert myself and convince him to hire Roland back into his company. Like you, I am also Robert's cousin, and that means that he would be happy to listen to all the things I have to say about why I took Roland from you and everything, right? Wait, you really think that's going to happen? Why do you say that? Do you want to know why Robert is most likely never going to be with anyone ever again? 10 years ago, when he was just getting ready to marry his fiancée, he found out that she'd been cheating on him with his friend, who went and stabbed him in the back and took her. Having to listen to someone like you now who's doing something very similar to what his friend did, I don't think you're going to be able to get a word off in front of him before he tells you to screw off, right? No way. Well, now that I'm divorced from Roland, I have nothing to do with you both anymore. I'm cutting ties to you now as well, so you both actually screw off now and go figure all your troubles out yourself, please. Oh, wait a second. There's one last thing. That house you're living in, I just finished having the lease on it canceled. What? But isn't this the place under Roland's name? At the very beginning it was. But after he was fired from his job and no longer making the money to be able to afford rent, I stepped in and paid it for him, while also putting my name down on the place as the sole tenant. And ever since then, I've been the only one paying the rent for it. Seems that even Roland himself forgot such an important thing happened, huh? What the actual hell is going on here? Now, I happen to still have a job to get to. I'm going to turn off my phone now. Wait a second, Aspen! Early this morning, I went to the courthouse and handed the marriage papers. But I don't need a lousy husband like Roland anymore. I'll give him back to you now, so you do something about all of this. Aspen, please! While I was ignoring all of my sister's cries for help, a lot of things happened between her and Roland. First, Roland and Lily tried to stay inside the house I ended the lease on, and would squat there for about 2 or so weeks before the owner of the property came and kicked them out. Of course, things weren't that easy for the owner, though. And so he had to call the police out to help him remove the two because neither one of them would leave the bathroom they locked themselves inside of. But after a few conversations with a kind officer about how them not getting out that day would only make matters worse, they opened the door, gathered everything, and left. Then Roland made the choice to have them both move all the way back to his folks' place, where they'd be staying for the time being. Lily really wanted to get a divorce from him so badly, but neither Roland or his parents would allow such a thing to happen. This led to Lily trying to contact me over and over again, asking for me to come and save her, but this time I'd had enough and ended up blocking her number. Not only was she locked in by the fact that she was still carrying his baby inside her, but she was now stuck inside his parents' house with no way out. The only issue with Lily, though, was that she could not do chores to save her life. The day after Lily had finally given birth to the baby, her mother-in-law took it from her and then started to talk with me again about how much she hated Lily and wanted her gone. But of course, I don't care about Lily, but what I would be taking was both Lily's and Roland's money in a divorce. As of right now, neither one of them ever has time to be around their baby, as they both have to work from sunrise to sunset every day, making the money they need to pay off the settlements, as well as try to move out of Roland's parents' house. I'm sure that's a very tough life for the both of them, but all they have to do is work their hardest for the time being. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Ashley, big problem. It's about Jamie. What? Oh, Naya. Good morning. What happened with Jamie? I'm sorry for saying something the morning of your wedding that's going to be really bad news to you, but Jamie's car ended up having a flat tire on his way there. Wait, really? He was just pulling out of his driveway when he noticed the flat, and he's been looking at it ever since. He came and told me to give you a call since I happen to be the closest person living to him that knows you. I'm sorry, but he's asking you to come out here and pick him up right now to take him to your wedding venue today while his car gets taken to the shop. Understood. Oh, and from now on, can you just contact me if you have any more questions? He's calling with one of his friends right now that works for a car shop, and he's going to have to be on the phone for some time talking to them. He also told me that after this call, he's going to have to wait for a call back from them about getting a truck out here to tow his car. Sounds good. Thanks for contacting me about this, Naya. I'm leaving my house right now, and I can be over there to get him really soon.
Yo, Ashley, are you still not on your way to this restaurant to have our wedding? I'm here with the rest of my family right now waiting to see you here. Jesus, I can't believe you're gonna pull a stunt like this, putting your name down as the most pain-in-the-butt bride there ever was. If you're gonna be late today, at least tell me that. I'm gonna start getting things ready over here for the wedding while I wait for you. You have to understand that we're throwing a wedding in a restaurant where we reserved the whole place, which means a lot of money is going into it that I do not want to waste playing around with you. If you're not here soon, I'm gonna cancel this wedding without any hesitation. Understand? Get your butt here now! Time is up. I've gone and ended this wedding with you. And in your place, I'm gonna get married to Naya. Both my parents and hers have talked everything out, so even if you make it here now, it's far too late for you to do anything to change this. I even made sure to tell the staff here not to let you in if you come, so forget even trying. Jesus. Now I'm gonna have to get a divorce and everything before I can do anything with Naya. And then you and your familyless butt can sit there and rot away by yourself. Your lack of responsibility is gonna go down with your name in history as the worst thing ever about you. Also, there's a high chance that you've been cheating on me this whole time. Just a second ago, Naya was acting all strange, talking about how she wanted to say something about it, but she couldn't decide whether or not to. But then she came up to me crying that she had seen you with another man having sexual relations with one another. Thankfully, this wedding is being held at the restaurant one of my friends happens to own, so it was all too easy for me to tell him and the staff that I'd now be getting married to Naya instead of you. With that, as I had just said, I'm making Naya my wife now. And as for you, I'm gonna make sure to get every cent that I can out of you in a settlement.
My plan to get Jamie to want to marry me today was a success. You being such a simpleton without a worry in the world really helped my plan go smoothly for me. To tell you the truth, I was lying about Jamie's car ever having a flat tire that prevented him from going to the wedding. When I told you about that, he was already on his way to the restaurant wedding and didn't actually need you coming to his place to pick him up. And then, when you showed up looking for him in his car, I was able to push you into his garage and close it on you, locking you inside of it. So that was my first mission completed. And now I'm working on completing my second mission today. I was able to make it to the restaurant just in time to find him in the changing room all worked up over you not arriving yet. And there I told him another lie about how I'd seen you having sex with another man recently and are cheating on Jamie. And just like that, all the anger he had vanished, and he ran into my arms. I told him that if he were with me, I would never cheat on him or come late to a really important event like our wedding before asking him to marry me. And he took me in his arms and told me yes. That right there was the moment that two longtime friends who had never been anything more than that tied the knot of love and became a couple. So, with all that said, until this wedding is over with, you're going to be waiting in his garage quietly for me, please. What the heck? Naya, you went and tricked me into coming out here? And you took my place as Jamie's bride? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Well, hello, Ashley. So you managed to get out of his garage? After smashing into the door on the side of it over and over again, I was able to break it down. Wow. So you're like some kind of a beast now or something. Scary. I ran back to my car and grabbed my phone that I'd left in there to see what all I had missed. All of this... Why, Naya? Why would you do this to me? Going and taking my place as the bride at my wedding? What kind of BS are you thinking? I did it because I love Jamie, of course. Ever since he and I were born, we've been with one another. Yet sometime later, you barged in the way of me and took him. You are a serious nuisance. You're saying that I barged in and took him from you? Stop trying to make me seem like some kind of a monster, okay? Also, all you and him ever were longtime friends and nothing more. Sure, you both have been close to one another, but neither of you did anything with one another before I came, and he even said it himself that he wasn't into you much. If you really loved him as much as you say you do, then why the hell didn't you open up about your feelings for him before all of this happened? Shut your mouth. Also, it's too late for you now. He and I have tied the knot with one another, and just a second ago, I stood in the place of you in your wedding dress cutting the cake. Jamie also made sure to have the name on the cake changed from yours to mine after he heard that you cheated on him. Jamie told me that he was happy to have me becoming his bride today, and he'd forever cherish this moment. Huh? And just like that, I'm now his wife. Then that would mean my dress. Oh, that's right. I'm going to wear your dance dress you had ready as well soon, so that I don't have to go home and get one of my own. Thankfully, you and I are both the same size all around, so I didn't have to worry about the wedding or dance dress today. You bitch. These are both rentals, so stop getting all worked up about me wearing them. They're not rentals. What? Both of those dresses are dresses that a dear friend of mine out in France made for me and then sent to the U.S. Both of them together are close to $15,000. Huh? Since you think you can just take everything from me after having locked me in a garage, I'm going to make you pay. What? Well, so what, I guess. I'm sure that Jamie will step in and do something for me there. At least for me, once this wedding and party are all over with, he and I can go to the courthouse and get married to one another for real. Once the wedding and party are over with? In other words, you're going straight there to do all that paperwork? That's right. We already made sure to fill out all of the paperwork before we got the wedding on the road, so all we have to do afterwards is take them into the courthouse and hand them in. Jamie and I are both married right now, though. What? You didn't know about that? Huh? We haven't moved in with one another yet, but 2 weeks ago we went to the courthouse and handed in the papers to get married. You're kidding me! So, all of this crap you sent me about completing your plan to lock me away in Jamie's garage and take that wedding from me so that you can be married to him, I'm sending screenshots of right now. What? Hold on a sec. Also, while we've been talking here, I've been looking into something. While you were pushing me into the garage and closing the door and locking it on me, my car's drive recorder captured it all on tape. Your car has a drive recorder on it? I wonder how he's going to react to watching all of that, right? Stop that!
What the heck is all this? Are you serious about this? Naya went and did all of this to you?
Jamie, have you read through all the screenshots that I sent you?
Ashley! So the reason you never showed up here or said anything to me about being late is because of this? That freaking bitch, Naya! How dare she do all of that to us? All because she wanted to marry me? What the heck did she do to my wife?
Right, she really is a total bitch for all the things she's done. But on the day of our wedding, you not being able to get a hold of me before the wedding started could have been because I was in an accident or really sick or who knows. There are plenty of scenarios where I could have been in trouble and had no way of texting you about what happened to me. But you never once thought that any of those could have been the reason for me not showing up, right? Me not showing up to the wedding equaled me not being someone you can trust in your head. And then your friend Naya comes in and says a few things, which you believe almost immediately, and tell her that you're going to marry her instead of me? And then change the whole wedding to make her your bride instead of me? Also, you did something there, didn't you? A lot of things, actually. All I thought I had to do was break out of that garage that I was locked into by Naya and get to my phone so that I could contact you. And when I did get out, all I thought I needed was to get to the wedding as soon as possible, as not to worry you any longer. But when I went and read everything on my phone...
Ashley, the thing is, after I saw the truth and why you weren't ever able to make it, I knew that I still wanted to be married to you. And I'm going to cut ties to Naya as well. And as for this wedding today, you and I can start over and do everything I already did today with you. If you really want to, we can go overseas this time for the wedding and make it a very fancy one, having everything you ever wanted there. All right? That shouldn't be a problem for you, right?
How would that solve anything, Jamie?
What?
Instead of even asking me what happened and trying to talk with any of my friends about why I wasn't there yet, you started to criticize me over text and lash out like I've never seen you do before. And then you started to go on about how I cheated on you based on what Naya said. And then you told me that you would be having the wedding with your longtime friend instead of me since I hadn't shown up yet, and that you'd be divorcing me. Well, you know what, Jamie? We are getting that divorce now, like you said.
A divorce?
I'm going to get myself a lawyer, and then I'm going to make sure I get a settlement from you.
Wait.
I'm going to drive you into the ground over what you've done today.
No, wait, come on now. Today at your wedding, all of your friends that came said that what I was doing was insane, and all began to leave before the wedding actually started. If you divorce me now, them all having the wrong idea about me will only make things harder for you, correct?
Well, here's the thing. All of my friends have been talking about what happened today in our group chat. And I already explained to them what happened between you and Naya and I.
Huh?
So all of my friends know the truth about you and don't have the wrong idea whatsoever.
Are you joking right now? In that group is the daughter of my company's CEO?
That's right. She happened to be a friend of mine from university that I wanted to come to the wedding today. And she told me that she was going to have a word with all your coworkers later on that you had at your wedding today so that they would understand what happened.
What the hell is she thinking? And why were you not thinking about my position in the company before letting her do that?
Listen, bud, did something happen to you? Are you all right? Neither of those things came from you before you automatically started to dig into me and then say you'd marry Naya. That's what I thought my husband would be asking me instead of getting pissed off like you did. I just wanted you to worry about me in case I did get into an accident or something. After breaking out of your garage, I went and looked through all those things you said about me, calling me names and things like that, and saying that I'd been cheating on you. I can't believe you anymore. As for the divorce, I'll have my lawyer get in touch with you in a few days. They'll be the one to give you the paperwork as well.
Ashley?
Goodbye forever. After that, I had my lawyer do all the talking with Jamie as I could no longer stand him anymore. It took a long time for anything to get anywhere in terms of the divorce, up until one day we noticed that Naya was pregnant. And upon further investigation, it turned out that the baby was Jamie's. And that was the end of our discussions as the divorce was then forced to happen. And in the end, Jamie and Naya got married to one another officially. Just like she'd wanted, she had the man she'd always loved and been around. But at the same time, she would be paying for my dresses that she wore and the settlement that I was getting from her and Jamie. They would both pay me everything within a week of one another, and my lawyer told me that they both had to borrow a lot of money to do so, and went into some pretty heavy debt. And not too long after that, her and Jamie were both told by all their friends that they were nothing to them anymore. As for Jamie's parents, both of them told him that he had lied to them about why he was making Naya his bride at the wedding, and said they wouldn't forgive him for that. And that led to them disowning him. With nobody supporting their marriage, and them not even being in love with one another anymore, it took only half a year of going through hell for them to get a divorce. And then they both ran away to different parts of the state, never talking to one another again. The only good thing that came out of that mess was Jamie's parents taking the baby that Jamie and Naya had and not letting him see it anymore. As for myself, I made sure to have Jamie pay for the whole entire wedding as well. So I was the only one who actually gained money from the whole ordeal. And although it was heartbreaking for me at first, I am still very young and have plenty more time to find a true man that loves me, which I can marry. However, for the time being, I'm going to put finding a new man on the back burner and use some of this money to take a few trips around the world like I've always wanted to do. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Maya, my little sister is coming back home, so could you take the car to the airport and get her?
Wait, you want me to go there right now?
What, do you have a problem with that?
I was just asked by your mom to run out to the craft store to get her a very specific type of ballpoint pen.
Then, once you've brought that home for her and dropped it off, go back out and head towards the airport.
Hold on a second, Parker. Wasn't it supposed to be you who took the car out to the airport to go and get Leah? Oh, wait, you shot that talk down because you didn't want to have to drive through traffic to go and get her. And that's why I had to come all the way to your mom's place just to be told to go out and get her favorite pen, and it's not going to be for another hour until I can be back at her place.
Well, I've already had some beers to drink, so I can't go.
What, already? It's 9 a.m., Parker.
I had no choice, okay? My dad was waiting to have some beers with me, and he had them all out on the counter with snacks this morning. You thought I'd just say no to that when I'm supposed to be his golden child?
So what you're saying is that your dad has had some beers this morning as well?
Yeah! And we both know about how my mom no longer has a driver's license anymore, so the only one legally allowed to go out and get my sister's you. So hurry up with buying that pen for my mom and get to the airport and grab her. Once Leigh is home with the rest of us, the plan is for us all to have burgers out on the grill.
All right, Parker.
My mom told me she ordered some premium beef patties from Japan, and that's what we'll be barbecuing on the grill for lunch and dinner today, and I really want to eat them as soon as possible.
I get it already, Parker.
By the way, it's because you had to work all the way up until yesterday that I wasn't able to come home to my parents' house until now.
And I told you that you could have gone to your parents' place ahead of me and I would have come later. Actually, if I recall this correctly, I tell you that every single year.
And here's another thing I forgot to say. In my family, it is the wife that should be going to her in-laws first during the holidays to work on all the cooking and chores. Yet for some reason, you...
The longer you drag on this conversation with me, the longer it will take for me to go and get your sister.
Then hurry up and get your crap together.
Jesus Christ, Parker. Maya? I'm pretty sure you're still driving out here, but, well, I just got to the airport a little bit ago, and that's when I found out that my brother was having you drive all the way out here instead to pick me up. I'm sure you're driving still, but if you've already arrived, can you tell me where you are? Welcome back to the U.S., Leah. I'll be there in another 10 minutes or so. Do you want me to pull up to the north wing of that airport to pick you up? That would be the easiest location for me to get to and to leave from with this car. I can wait there. Oh, thank you so much for coming to get me.
Hey, Maya, did you head back out again?
Yes. Your mom was asking me to go out and get you guys some more AAA batteries.
Well, we've ran out of potato chips and dips, so can you please stop at the store and get us some more?
Are you guys going to be drinking some more? Parker, you've been drinking all day now and you need to slow down. We'd only just arrived at your mom and dad's house this morning and all you've done is sit around and drink.
Oh, what's so bad about that? We're staying at my parents' house tonight, so I don't need to go anywhere or do anything.
I understand that, but...
Just buy those dang chips and dip and come back here.
All right, chips and dip. Maya, it sounds like my mom asked you to go out and buy some more random things, and now I've overheard my brother asking you to get some things as well while you're out. You already had to take a long trip all the way to the airport to come and get me today, yet it seems you've had all sorts of other random things all day. I'm sorry, Maya. You'll never be able to relax if all they're doing is asking for you to go out and get things for them. You were already being so thoughtful by coming all the way out here. Hey, you don't have to worry about any of this. I'm totally fine here. Then what about when this happened? My mom knew that there would be 5 people at the house today who would be eating lunch, and yet she only got enough burgers and stuff for 4. So in the end, you were left with nothing to eat, and I don't think you've really had anything to eat all day, right? But you gave me half your burger, so thank you for doing that. But that had to happen because Parker and my parents seem to not care about you. I started out thinking that maybe my mom forgot about getting enough food for 5 people because she's so used to me being overseas and not at home for the holidays. But now that I've put everything that's happened to you so far today together, I can tell that they're all just harassing you. Right? If that's really what's happening here, then I'm so very sorry about my family. Do you want to go out with me and get something for dinner when you get back? Oh, that would be wonderful, Leah. Thank you. However, I've been told by your mom that as your brother's wife, I'm supposed to get used to eating things like shrimp tails and burnt ends, so that should be fine for me tonight if that's all your family has. Huh? That's what my mom told you? You should be used to eating things like shrimp tails and burnt ends. That's terrible. I don't actually eat any of those things though when they serve them to me. Okay, but that's still not a good thing, Maya. I've known from the very beginning that your parents and brother would never prepare anything decent for me to eat, so I make sure to always eat while I'm out of the house doing all of their needless errands. Well, as long as you're not starving all the time when you're here, that's fine. But the fact that my mom said that was what you should be used to eating? You don't have to worry about it, Leah. Here's the thing when it comes to my relationship with your family. Once I'd married Parker and made my way over to your parents' house for the first time, I was told to stay in the kitchen until the rest of the family was done eating, and that I'd be having their leftovers for dinner. That was pretty much the first thing your mom said to me when I came into the house. She really is harassing you then. She might be, but when it comes to your brother and dad, they never really say much. But they never do anything to tell your mom off either, and will just agree with her by going, every time she tells me to do something, which means they're fine with it. Are you kidding me? Seriously, my family is such a shameful mess, and that makes me feel so bad for you. You don't have to feel bad or apologize for it, though. The fact that I know you understand what's wrong with them is more than enough to help me feel like I'll be just fine. I've been overseas for 3 years now, and not even for something serious like work, but I really wish I could have been around you more so that I could hear your side of things, because all my family will ever tell me is how much of a bad wife you can be at times. Leah, by the way, I've made plans for my family to meet with my fiancé for the first time ever. Oh, the man you told me about before that you met overseas? That guy? Yeah, that's him. Do you think you can come home now so that you can meet him when he comes over? Wait, you want me to meet him too? Actually, the only reason I came all the way back to the States this year is so that I can talk with you. What? I thought you came here just to be around your family again. I want you to be a part of a plan that I have, but before I actually do anything, I'd like to go out with you for a bit and chat about it. Then you can have a better understanding of me.
Yo, Leia! You and Maya left the house about an hour ago after she came. Where the hell did the both of you go and why?
Oh, hi, Parker. I was just thinking about texting you.
What do you mean you were just thinking about texting me? Mom has been whining to me about how she wants Maya to start cooking dinner soon and told me to tell you guys to come home. We're waiting.
Huh? Why don't you tell Mom to start cooking dinner herself then? And if that's too difficult for her to start cooking right now, then have her go to the supermarket and pick up some pre-made food. Why would you guys even be asking for her to do all of these chores when she only just got off work for the end of the year and is in need of a break?
What? That's her job as my wife.
Because she's your wife, she has to go through all this work?
That's right, because she's my wife.
Tell me, why do you think she has to be there to make dinner tonight? Just because she's your wife?
What? Because that's what she's been told to do as my wife.
But then, what does that make of Mom? Isn't she Dad's wife?
What?
She's the wife that Dad married and made a part of his family, right?
But right now, Mom, she's also considered the mother-in-law, right?
Well, she's the only wife in that house right now since I have Maya with me helping get some things together in order to move.
In order for who to move exactly? Who's moving?
Mom and Dad, of course.
Huh? Why would the both of them be moving?
When I came back home today with Maya from the airport, I noticed that nobody had been working on getting things ready for Mom and Dad to move. So as the only one who seemed to understand what needed to happen, I decided to take Maya with me to get things ready.
Why, yo, what the heck are you going on about right now, Leah?
What?
I have literally no freaking idea what you're talking about right now.
Wait, did you not hear anything about this then? I was told by Mom and Dad that they decided on a day to have the house demolished.
Huh? The house is being demolished then?
To make matters short, the house is going to be torn down, so Mom and Dad need to hurry up and get their things together in order to move out.
Huh?
I could have sworn you were told in the group chat that really soon here the house would be getting demolished by the city. What? Hold on for a sec. Does this mean that Mom and Dad haven't even started looking for a new place to move into yet?
I'm gonna go ask Mom and Dad right now. Oh no. I just went and asked them about it, and so far it doesn't seem like they've done anything in order to prepare for the move.
Are you serious? We'd been talking about this for weeks and months even, and they still haven't started to prepare and look for a new place? I've talked with them about this 3 times now.
They told me that this is their house, so nothing can happen to it, and there's nobody who can rightfully kick them out of their house. They kind of thought you were just joking about all of that stuff when you brought it up.
What the hell are you going on about? Aren't you all aware that 3 years ago Dad went and gave ownership of the house over to my fiancé and said that he'd make the decisions? That was back when Dad's burger joint went under, and as a way of trying to not go into major debt, he sold the place to my fiancé because he was willing to let Mom and Dad stay there. My fiancé has been a realtor overseas and had the money to buy the place from Dad, and that's why they never went into major debt after the burger joint failed. But the plan was made a year ago to have that house, the house my fiancé owns now, torn down because the area is going to be used for an apartment complex. My fiancé was able to buy Mom and Dad a year, though, because he didn't want to stress either one of them with the plans he and the city had made, yet they still haven't done anything? Both my fiancé and I have been telling Mom and Dad to find a new place to move into so that when the time comes, there'd be no hiccups, right? You heard about all of this, Parker, because you wanted to be in that group chat, yet you haven't actually been paying any attention to it? This is why you need to stop slamming back beers while you're with Mom and Dad and start getting ready to have them both moved out and into a new home. There's only a little while longer before the house has to go, so you get Mom and Dad together right now and start helping them get their things together. Tomorrow we're going to go through the whole house together, cleaning it all out and making sure everything is taken care of. By tomorrow night, I want Mom and Dad to have a new home picked out and be ready to go.
Yo, if we have to get all of that done by tomorrow night, then when will we sleep?
Since you 3 have procrastinated for a whole year, you won't have any time to sleep with these next 2 days now.
And as for the place they should be moving into?
Tell them to start looking for anything that can be ready for them in a few days. I don't care if it has to be an Airbnb or a rundown apartment, and if nothing is available, then you'll just have to shove them into a hotel for a while.
Then what about the moving company?
There are plenty of movers that can get to work right away if you call them 24 hours in advance. And you can have them take all of Mom and Dad's things and put them into storage for a month if need be.
But that'll cost them even more money.
Then how about you pay for all of that? I'm going to be honest right now, you are partially to blame for all of this since you decided not to heed my warnings.
Are you kidding me, Leah? Hey, Maya! You know about how I've been made to handle all the work needed to get my mom and dad moved out of this house, right? I've been wondering why this whole time you've done nothing to help us, and that's why I went and took a trip back to our house, and guess what I find? Divorce papers signed by you? What is all of this about?
Oh, so you made it back to the house?
Where the hell are you right now?
I'm out at a cheap hotel right now, staying here for a few days.
Huh? You staying at a cheap hotel now?
I planned on moving out, so I've been taking my time in order to find a place to move myself into.
You're moving out of our house now, so you actually want to go ahead and get a divorce from me now?
You already knew that when you walked in and saw the divorce papers I left for you signed, right? Come on now, man.
Why do you want a divorce, though?
You know the reason why. Because you just sat there and let your mom harass me that whole time and never once said anything about it.
That was just,
What we're going to talk about now is all the stuff that I learned about from Leah herself. Did you know that the reason Leah came back to the US in the first place was to learn about just how much your mom has been troubling me and acting like she can use me as her slave? Because that's what she's told me, and there was no other reason.
What?
She told me that things weren't as bad as she was suspecting, that she would have bought Mom and Dad another year or so before having her fiancé go ahead with the house's demolishing. However, the moment she came to the airport here, she realized that I was already being forced to do literally everything during my holiday with no time to relax in sight. And when she saw that your mom didn't have enough food for me, like with those burgers, well, she was able to see just how badly things had become for me within your guys' family. At that moment, she knew that she had to do something to stop this and gave me a chance to escape. So she told her fiancé to contact the city and tell them to go ahead with the plans to have your house demolished and get your parents out.
What the hell? What the hell do you think you're doing, acting like Mom has been harassing you this whole time? I was told that was the way my mom planned on making you a good wife. Yet you and your misunderstanding has gone and left my mom and dad without a house and me without a place to go back to relax at.
I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding on your side, actually, since I wasn't the one who decided to do all of this at first. It was your sister, Leah.
Huh? She made the decision to do this?
She made the choice based off the fact that she could clearly see your mom was harassing me, and that it was her fiancé who's owned that house for the past 3 years. So she talked with him about what was going on, and their final decision was to have Mom and Dad kicked out so that the house could go ahead and be destroyed.
What?
Oh, and another thing. I'm going to assume that you took your mom and dad back home with you to the house to stay with us instead of putting them up somewhere?
Well, of course I've done that. I plan to have both my mom and dad staying in this house with us, and you won't have a say in that.
Not going to happen.
What?
I don't want to have someone that enjoys harassing other people living in the same house as me. I knew that was going to happen, though, and that's why we're getting this divorce for sure now.
Hold the hell on!
My dad was very kind by introducing me to one of his friends who is a very respected divorce lawyer.
What? You have a lawyer now?
I'm sure that you'll be getting a call or email from that lawyer very soon here, so once you've heard everything he has to say, you can talk with him about what happens next in the divorce.
Wait!
Oh, and one last thing. I happen to be the one who rents that house, and I'm having the rental agreement ended next month. So you guys will have to leave there pretty soon as well and find a brand new place to move into.
What?
Hurry up and find yourselves a new place to go so that I can tell the landlord he can go and clean the house out for his next tenants.
What the hell?
That's all I had left to say.
Hold on a dang minute, Maya.
Goodbye forever, Parker.
Maya! What are you doing?
And just like my sister-in-law had been saying, she worked with her fiancé to have my in-laws' house demolished like she'd been warning them to prepare for. Leah had also told her family her fiancé's number in case they ever wanted to talk with him about any of the plans he had for the house, back when he had bought the place from her dad. But they never ended up asking or saying anything to him. After being moved into Parker's in my place, Parker soon learned that I was not joking about having a lawyer. And after some long talks about all of the things I had to endure with his mom and him, he was told he'd owe me a settlement. Not too long after Parker was informed about that, I received the settlement money and the divorce was able to be finalized. Unbeknownst to them, I had both audio recordings and video of Parker's mom harassing me, and of both Parker and his dad never stepping in to control it. So of course there was no chance at all for Parker and his family to fight me in court. So within a month, the divorce was over with and I was a free woman again. After being forced out of the apartment by the landlord a week later, they had to move into a dirt-cheap apartment that was close to 100 years old and had not seen any maintenance for the past 50 years. And just a few years ago, something bad happened there that appeared on the news. Those three got into a massive fight within that apartment and ended up causing so much damage to it and making so much noise that the police were called and arrested them. When I saw that news, I got one message from Parker and all it read was, "Help." When that happened, I didn't even bother to actually open the message and just blocked him and his family's numbers before changing my number as well. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.